Everybody has their differences. We all have each other's backs.
Before we begin, we are seeking assistance from the MBCI Choctaw speakers. If you come across unfamiliar words or phrases, or have another way of saying it, please share. Your voice is important in keeping the Choctaw language alive and flourishing. Now, let's return to the video.
Halito sa Priscilla Williams. Nana kaya makatinang piyas makachachike. Ting pala no hachipo anon hashpalutana ho.
So for Alexander Hickman.
Another Tracie Gibson.
Another Lucille Cotton.
Higma kata hashamiti.
Another Christopher Ridge Pima Bakatalito Sasam.
Katome homona.
For about 40 years or more.
Another Kaziasko I really out of Michelle Willow, we have to our family. Was I some of nada.
It does more shanta home, sugar. Chocolate. Oh, Muslim. Oh, nada.
Grandma was not to about school year for Alma. Shuvele Matala for Alma. It was school year get Yelma, Rockers to Ridge, but you held.
Not also say how much Mashuville at the
Oh, yeah.
There's lots of them we had a lot.
It's a people much for punch left. Figure not as much at the Makala Mashulu Velimi.
I'm not also say how much of them.
What's each other?
School, let's go with the Connolly, that dormitory down in Micheloville. And van of the left us the school they get there. After that, we moved away from there. We came towards Brussels in Milalma. Few months, Sassono. We had put Malad.
It's not up.
More, Snara, like I said, Kaziasko really is Mamma Pevahali Obana. It was school in the year Chomita. And go about my great Nalimana, Choctaw Citrus Bilata and there.
Nana, dormitory, and I'm going to claim my alligator most summer. I was not grandma you would have Nana Highway 14 Blinkham I think that's about a good 2-3 miles from that dormitory. Maybe more. On the Haley 7 o'clock eat your grandma the sister to be able to know the eat go lick it to you. Van watch van keep be up.
Oh, there's no what is up to she a big to Oh. You get a Kanamaka Nana the Atipone Yamagat Nami jet to the Hashikano, Panulamu be Nanaka.
Panulamu get to the calendar now.
Yeah.
I never picked over 50 pounds, but 50 pounds of one opportunity to cook because dad, you know, I paid. Peter, the guy I said, Nick, others. Na aan go herring be amut be kan follow the task no se lio megata ya pues ya ukulimo panula ukulimo matapole ma api mama tapole ma api mama nata ia chukai mule ara ancestry to talia ele ma almost one Italian my dad and ma I pa matama falama de school sapa ukulimo na shobe Kaning makina, you know, stuff hold up at that instead of my when not to kill out to care. Sapoli mine, I show me it.
Marina Shimpa.
Marina will lie for the way my own to kill out. No, they will eat on Salimuma, we ain't long no more. In garden dim side mo. To be young amona ning ma. Young ulimo lo fit. Mama freezer ni. Mi jigata. Ime. Igma na tamali tanu fina yatoke. Every now and then we go to the store. Igma no tayo at most of the time I know that he was awat at no dear ayo abe mauli pa yata. So no tamali tanua fina yata no more than maybe once or twice so kale a month we go to town. Makalagata.
That's not it. Why not?
Gideon.
Not this one later.
Pi chipogni chilawili shmaga kasos. Pi nana kesh mi chetu gone.
Nana Manapi nata follow washoria amate kani mana apala til yom ma emo nata na ko sa pesa na ha de mo kaka thiwia amate de mo no te ko ale ma fo no te yana ko kaka tiwle na ha che yom grandma nana follow ma tanti yeme lap michi yeme getamada na athai micho poketamada nana basket nana pi fancy ma ome na yeme basket yeme mamko tanti banchi ta ja no ti fantic ba higi ho yema ba hol ha yigat shat chi yeme chata ma ko nana colonel yema michi ta ya shat
Not that whole.
Yema michi ta ja no ti me henchi ma ko elap tanchi yumi me stai lebiget labinyo yuma garden ma in masha ma ko amichi hoshima ta igate yama pisle gatola nana ma fo yung ko tongsale school ma ta popor yume digos tongsale mi boss ko shugla hoyo ki ko na car you make up mix it up for them because nada toba about 4 or 5 mile walk to go nana hina mai ila get 14 lona toba now only should have flat lona get but once a day hey stop feeling good fala ma nana chokash kama well to kana to yoma no go we get water from there pause button hiliti mo ko pcha sige no ba sige yeah mostly the kaka hopefully me ka was nata amak pwede siya na mga tumato nana waski shi hosh nata nama teacher ba falamachi yeme makoshi shi ho kaka hopefully ta teacher hopefully that the himo ana sa to na osi uli hasaje
Snara na alana panula na pekali jenara amam ja amere eta jana kanet oglamchi ga amule gata apsnara hashuk shale magar lo limche michi tapsnara althea piano onko junga ogla skole ma ila homire spapi lengar ga apsna ape ogla pe izo chomegata ema ogla etimo ogla bashle khoyo mamo taal skole gata kabasa mini ga ama etia penenga acha no te obejui mai for all families down there.
Nana kaya ikbi yung mi ganaw pi iluka o kalumbo yung mi pa. Pi sigal lang mo nana pi auntie yung mi ikbi no. Kanan mo kaya tipong niya jiske mo na kaya og ikbi ito cho. Nana kaya tapos siya kaya ikbi ito mo cho. Nata neto.
And I don't care if it was bees or no, I don't know. I've seen Mama work on a few, but she made her own dress, own dressing better. She made our dresses, but Dad, he wouldn't wear it. Dad, the Choctaw shirt, okay, Mama, that's all she wear was Choctaw dress. She's happy to be. Mary do look happy to be. But far as beads and baskets, I can't. My grandma, you got Makashinita. They made their own dresses. Your husband, Makashinita, he wouldn't wear a Choctaw shirt.
My 4 years your grandma younger than that. Not the gotcha. Painfully gonna Chaptain look at email or party came at the Nalin look at email over for class. The human, it can't be a human achievement. Can you grandma Nana Choctaw dress in Tona, can you remember for cook or not often came with that. For the most time now, Nalin look at Fuka, Nana bead work in Michigan, but not Namakito. Kucha nada garden man na michi yemiga mama makala chumste ma maja nana one yemiga ma for the daybreak to daylight to sundown nana popo yem toxile ko matona yemi michati
On that or not? Oh, yeah, okay. Mama Archima Obama, Muna Obelaka. And grandma dresses a bit more, a lot better than I forgot. Other than that, no.
Okay, a child like Manama, Pina Hachimano, I told on the Kanupa story that you may get a Chimano, I told on to be Kanina, hungry stories. Be Kanima Afo, Kanima Kapasa, meeting ma, Nafa, Kanima, a bush, Belma, Pina Anolanoga, no take jokes of that. Ajimo, Olanolana Shumito, you may get Hachimano.
Half I can't repeat in this session.
Oh, God. I probably did. I guess I don't think we paid attention to it. Kid took a ball. Yeah, mom and dad couldn't want change on a little long. He had a little, but we was too busy playing. We know where to go. That's under the house. Under the house, Magalia. Your mom's what they play at my, I don't know, Michitos. That's what I know, police chair, I ain't have later. But we never did interfere.
Well, Asan na play. Na school ya chiyo. Na school ya chiyo. Mana lita kali kya.
Kani kiyin at lopin na yume ito. Get caught too.
You can't put down social water, not on social water. Pina kanang na ila kanang nagado na. Ima sakyo ga, ima ko migato Allah to tuwa ro le masa to la washuha hanote isi washuwa ti wama syak mo sumba ma isi washuha somyo gam upave no yumi asa fikito ma nata mo esta washuwa to ti yumi ga.
It's not the cans, not the canned goods ma ada ma. No steel so maybe. Kanigma Nahalo trash black lama. Ashley Tanawama. We find toys, dolls, you may kind of la pillar of your little shots to Maristi play with dirt, biscuit, believe it. You show it. But Nahalo in jump pile on Ashley Tanawama to find stuff. Can make my mama, you know, she find out that materials to make quilts. Yeah, the box a lot that come my ayuwarang anchik bishbini legata. We find toys of Shnado. Most use away at a not toys of Lapin Jump. What we found from the jump, I'm going to do it.
Nana, main thing, it kind of on has to not gravel no, or it's just up there. I name my left leg team on the last year. You mark your Nana, not got it, Nana game, I was it actually. My Mogola, to feel in the way. Only time people imagine, Nana, Saturday morning cartoon I am, we will below the Eva below my was. Tahaman emang kucas kulit emang kucas kulit kalau musuh layas. Iya, tag ini mungkin musuh, mungkin cuma na kamera emang.
Same thing.
Talking about Mushulabel?
Mushulabel?
Yeah, you mentioned it.
Fi Mushulabel in my nakya. Smile oglami jetogo. Kana shigara.
They probably did. I was kind of young. I was something like 4 to 5 years old for college. We should go to Winston County where they allowed it to.
On weekends, when I'm dad, uncle's baseball was show in Chumma. Baseball.
Oh, okay.
Teams ugla fama no waigata. My dormitory tigba ma feel like game on baseball field. Mogla show and my birthdays of no mogla hapon my to go with here. Shoko ugla abaja elape ugla skatale. And ma tanchi mo labe go sit ugla tale. Ma day of game of ma ugla hapon. Sometimes they weren't even birthdays.
Picnics.
Because her pocket ala oglande la impochego.
And one more thing, I remember in my younger days, Chief Captain Wesley was Anta Mumara. Yama inch kama ilane gata come from Loso de Lana weekends of ma. They used to have people Indian tribe Ila from all over the world. Allegatoma. Used to be a bunch of used to come there Saturday night They used to make a great big old fire in the middle of the yard. And Ogla dance and Ogla sing that you'd mind on negative till daylight next day. And they was people from everywhere. Indian tribe.
Because Nana in my mitigaro. It's kind of
Ogla meeting Ogli Maya of Litimanople. They talk, but they got one when we kids we're not allowed to be over there. And when we be on the other side of the house and they in front of the house. When they fix and talk business we get out the way. They used to come out there. And I don't know if that home place is still there or not.
It burned down.
It burned down.
You Choctaw wakati fugalis maya maka. Mushulabel mana. So the one kita.
Probably about 20 or less.
4 families in it. It's about 4 families.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shirley, Bobby, and Rosalie.
makalas maya memang.
Pi hisa wag mo to na tang hisa yung miji to. Pi abuwa hisa cho.
Yeah.
Apotik ba?
Puch ko tayo.
Kata so la jing.
I really don't know. Back then, I know. You got one. Wala, hey, ito kang visa lagi ito. Feel it, oh, wala ka niya. Wala, he's like ito, but I don't know who played. Come up to Wakana. Because earlier years, but no, we have seen R.J. Willis came down to RB's house. House dance all night. Yeah, Charlie Hickman, and what was the other name? Albert Frazier. And you could put Lana to RB and come dance with Lamaya. Negative. Miss Lolene, that's RB's wife. She'd get out there, she'd cook a big dinner that night. Pagulin pa man ng pagulin tibahin, but kulahin sa na pagulin pa man ng pagulin pa. Yung may nakong negative. She did all of that. And I believe she still can do it. If Dr. let her right now, you're gonna. Ega, yung malhin sa nakong negative, sa negative. Pistang sa negative. Yung asanong siya na siya negative. Yung malang sa litsi ha negative. That woman used to dance all night long. Every time music at the guitar when she's there. She's still living. And a lot of people, young people these days, they talking about, I having a problem, I can't quit drinking, Vilaje. That's what they say. Arby and Lorraine, if anybody knew them, they can quit drinking if they want to. Them two people start drinking antiseptic when in their young age, when they got married. They did it until how many years ago?
Oh, I want to say about.
Kill, how long since they've been quit?
Oh my God, it's been about since. I want to say about 2004, 2006, somewhere around there.
They quit. They just decided to quit. They drink every day. Every day they take a bottle of water with them. They go to the store, get a bottle of antiseptic, they mix it, start drinking. That was everyday thing. And they just decided to quit. And they quit. They still living. Both of them still living today.
What's that phrase for bring out the anti? Shande. Some people know what the code word means.
Ano po magalikana kanya mama?
That means shaking that antiseptic. That's what it was.
Shande haja.
That was not a to watch. It was just a phrase they used. Shani.
Your grandmother, Nolene, up until a couple of years ago, she still was heavy at it dancing. You know, she'll get out there and dance. Just take it to her. And me told her, "Kisa, ma. Me ma, kis kuli actually. Yeah, betakale. Yeah."
She still want to do it now.
For her panaganot, kanong mga me take kisa ma. Kis kuli ma hat iyo me.
Hingga ka na him forty pe. Yet skole kita. Se pokunito skomolit to.
Kaniya kayo ko file. Yes, nako iya. Gulit to be kaniya.
Gana lawa oblit ni sa la mi jana na hega imako mega Allah yung project ate kita ha hega pi tu lawa yung mga na gusto pun na kayo gusto pun na to de
Ngas ko sa po niya ako ng school niya.
Yung me ko chao po ni no has mi ji chome
No, tapi makilala sa sano. Aman lahat ustas mo ya. every one of them, believe it or not, in my doctor's care and fire I have to take anymore. You know, because I don't know si ang sa places. Allah, because I put lang ako niya alam school. Pete, they asked me what to cook with me, makatalis. Binilig mo school. Yung meron siya, she said, alam mo kayo na you know, because I po niya alam mo. There you go.
Grandma yung on appeal shalli na kulak ko sa buwan na dyan na wiki lawi ba na dyan na mo appeal. You got birthdays or just get together. Kanina grandma labi mo ko sa buwan ba na ko sa buwan egi mo ko sa buwan na talaga yung haklegi. Human chiba tare was stum tare. Yeah.
Mama's trale marini kanigno. Cousin Chofa kanamba na kaniya go. Iti tanga na yada ima benchile mo. So timano po mo kaniga how to place the I guess the firewood na tubak sa tapat mo. Chahi shoes of male, king mo, spehal mo. Mas lot of walk.
Yung bila mo okay.
Aman at yung may spihalig mo, bilik sa may kano. Yung bisa kanilig mo, you talking about the shovel? Atig mo, yeah, halig. Yung naman last year, I just say what I'm saying, but yung bisa kanilig mo, they go stand there and think about it.
Allah saya kanina maiyo palagi regla. Na chapter mo pa no palagi level di me go na le. Ipo ne si pa chega mana Allah ka ma tande ito. Allah ikaw manos ka na ho ala. Ko pa je mo isko pa rin.
Yan ka umi hakalagi de bilu mo chatte mo no hakalagi de mas. Yung miyak mo no.
Yeah, what that mean? What that mean? Wala ka niyang, ano daw kayo mo, sunod ka niyang, chata dyan kaya go.
Tiga in ko tahu po ni impat at mga tabuha po ni sa disika. Nakapuli ka pa sila pa daw.
Yeah.
Tiga yung pwede kaya ilawin di admit chin na mo na. Ogli ka na balong kiba. Ogli ka na sila.
Fire, last pa. Church is nog geen, maar last pa mee zelf is het geen maar alleen.
Yeah.
Jadi sekarang mga ito na high school ito may magpamay para.
Another minute idea le. Nana wayo.
Kanina Choctaw Christian.
Kata di stanya mo no?
Jordan Kinagi. Rosalie Kinagi, my son.
You were telling me about people from here will maybe take care of Naniwaya or be going out there a little bit more.
Pi Naniwaya in Makako. Kanat pahas maya kat pi iat undes kati yon jo pi kanin manakyan amit maya mo Naniwaya ma ma kima mo mana.
Kijk, maar nou na kan ik al tegen.
Iya.
En de laat gates of laat het talen na handel. Hij gewoon na kan ik zo kwijt kijk maar. Ik zeg mam nou ja. Alex de grass moet je eten. Ik nou, you know, kan ik maar let hopen not maybe after church of now. Man wil leave op man laat nou nog lauw zo. You know what? Last month that I cut, they had that cry ceremony over there.
Cry ceremony.
Cry ceremony out there.
Cry ceremony. Kalat mo siya?
Erling Willis must take the gear down.
Kat nada tis mo siya mura.
Well, in Erling niece, my little my R.K. Willis and Mo oglak shu just with you.
Pi la prayer mana mi je cho.
Cry la.
Ya.
Yeah.
You
We got one coming up in Missouleville. Miss Lowly na in son na diga nedos. Mama chaje.
Micha je. Kati pugal kana.
The 10th of last day at car.
This Sunday na wala for home not next Sunday 10th mo koshula. Last one me to do.
Yang mat pi pra ma michiga pi prayer ma cha pi binit ya wala seman. Naka over stone boom ma oh
Prayer da iksha.
Iksha.
Be am no pistikala.
Okay, must be na anuli ma. Okay. Yung no kan michina anli kita ha kita ma.
It's a lot of hard work.
No, okay.
Got here recently in kanamon libsa. I got jibata na kana michata kidego. Kan gana I'm also for Robert Wallace. Only met the last time. It's been 6-7 years. Do am I going to Derby Wardale go limit him. Sunday was last one on we've had
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday was last one.
Every Sunday on meet him to P day
The day ogla hope taling ma that Sunday ma. Ya mama charge. It ma Misha Sunday ma the hardwood make tables. Ma one Sunday will skip by rest Sunday will. It was on 4th Sunday ma. This last one. It was 4 Sundays here.
Okay. A couple of Saturday na. Because man mo apang na mo meeting on top pali ka.
This mama I don't imagine no Michelle will ogla charge.
Oh.
This coming up to because early in the mountain where that pear tree is, tree no down ogla chidamo.
Nakne goshi pola last day of Finamos nakne jola impola server it's table set yume.
You day but one meal. Shukani pizza biscuit illa.
Ja coffee bagaje.
Just coffee. Shukani pizza. Like nana they have a plate so shukani pizza on the table mo. They will sit it all the way down with my biscuit no pea table on them shataje. And when you eat what you want out of that plate, after one they take that plate, pour it back in the other pot. Not gonna be let's get other pot not tonight. If you get out of one plate, you go to the other plate. No, let's change the regular one. You just go to the other plate. When you get through with that plate, they don't wash the plate. They take it and dump that meat in the other pot, and get some more meat and put it in there and set it on the table for the others to eat them.
Ay perut mo. Okay.
During those 4 weeks, the people that are mourning, do they do anything, wear certain clothes or?
Traditional clothes. They wear Choctaw dresses. Women's and men's wear Choctaw shirts.
And especially stressed during the last one of
Yeah, the last day.
The 4th day of month.
The 4th Sunday.
Observers and I'm assuming they're welcome to Jewish Arabic or the main ones that are involved in the Shtiyaya right ceremony, but more traditional clothing for Kabbalah.
You can wear traditional dress if you want to. If you go out there and you want to, it's up to you. But the one that's going to do the crying, they got to wear the Choctaw dress.
Anything about Crystal Ridge is unique, or something about this community that you might think other
Shop it
people-
off. Get a new one.
You need a new community.
New community.
Uh-oh.
It ain't gonna happen. Ma, let's totally up it, but it's only.
Either come this straight towards us and then go that way, or go that way. Well, I told you that man, what I say that man said, but was it late October, early November? He said we gonna get that great storm, big storm coming in. I hope that storm shelter's ready.
Yeah. Mana.
Okay, Nana kay bani had to know more care.
Well, Nana, there was a story one time. Shuba Limba, Nana, Moshe, Larry Wallace called it Moose. Nana, eat a gas after the guy, Nana, a pond Jaffa party was. Nana, across the pond, Nana, upper embankment, you meet Takana, your man, Nana, flat land, you make your man. Get off in you might Nana, drum bully, hugly get you with him. Nam go. Nana, not a change of opposite of Nana, Obaka here, Chapter Theo, Titamaya, Shini, you my medical. It go. Big area, not taken the mona, floated pieces. Yaka, none help you, Papa, Aja, meeting Hiti America. Kapakana, Bali, meeting Memacana. Not sure about each everybody the grandma chicken made much of that. You made lady. After drum bully, how would look at this is like about 5 miles away from my grandma holiday.
Brady was ook lachelijk te keer om nog zo verder slot nog. But that big old mound up there in the wooded area. Said they was fishing over there. Mound blink aan mijn arm, maar drum bully to get him. Over laat passage en over de halen te met. They didn't know what it was. They looked at his mind to go. Mound mama gonna sound not me this man. No, the big sound, but it was getting louder and louder. You remember what So.
Is it secret mound of letting my pee? Or it toma pee naka asked to mat ulam hit ulat maya yak to mat ulik sutay when magos eat gla. Kaya ka hati chimo.
No.
Because mom, but again, nobody ever did nothing to it. No.
Not the mound church.
It's just like the none way mom.
Only here.
Yeah. I went to it one time, but I wouldn't go back at all. Snake at low trauma. You drove the bully for getting one. Balik ka nung tulala na nada.
Wala mahilawaji.
Tulala yung earthquake yung mga.
Nana, one morning forgot Maforja Pone Atoma of Walima, George Hickman and Emma Hickman. You put Jim Shaman trailer house or sit line to you, my take. You go school theology was a maslahaja, Cochea, Onalego, Olimama, Tanapo, Tobachi Havalna. Oh, Naka, can I make you guinea hand? Ballet a la Minopuliki, Nana, my photos, Mavasida, Nana, Itima, Naxima, Nana, what a chief for the Maxigo was. Shiki Chito, Chumi, Nana, EU, a Bakashabachi, follow what Chumi the village, Nana. Allah said, Allah Chimoto, like he get time, you man, Ula Nisco Pakanam, Ishija, Stiana Yomi, Stanable Medical. You may believe the question, but now don't touch it. More people I seen where he unloaded that shots on that branch. He had a name for it. That's been a long time. Because Crystal Ridge and everybody has their differences. There've been 2 or 3 times that I've known of Allah kanema kanamo tafam tahat we all have each other's backs
Tapi kacau maya.
Based on that one.
Kamu cakap nombor is maya bano.
Chat mo play ba?
Kira.
The generation behind me mas mukfuali kana mukola makalate mo. Wala ka tama manolat hala noble la kana. Chatta me kana mo kono te noble kana na hala noble ka. Ito manote chatta noble manote ugli po mo hasay. Just sounds different like me.
Terima kasih po ni. Kacing lang wakeno maya ka.
Kia. Sebu ni hati maya ka. Alex and Grandma and Grandpa must want Lucille Williams, Miss Gloria Hickman must be needing a push with the Iman at Makatog Mikir. My early doctor label, I don't know. Nah, I can't say on that way.
Houston.
Makay na siya manong baby.
Oh, man.
Akong kanong biniling mo sa akin.
Mau pila siya mergo.
Chief ulit yun. Wala yung tibacha pala mo. Oh, man. You got Dancing Rabbit Cemetery, Managla. We still carry on tradition. Pasnaki nagli kulli graveyard ma. Everyone himaka tongsalip pa ay liga 5 na mo or 4 apil liga yum. Liga machine nagla na ima chukay nagla na kayo ma. Kulli talima like kanas funeral mistake yung masukla timatali mano ti ula oron nama kula graveyard mo kula college kana mo no kula colleague kule ba 8-10 people kule usually takes us about 8 hours 8 to 10 hours wale ule mine ule kollega 4 feet kaning mo 5 feet ula cha yo me gosh nada lawa maya ga chuksana kale gosh Palamana I get it was really talegate in the Yuma. You got Jaffe, the Hoshola, Nana, machine, allow them, Nana to Erskine Dixon. Makalato, a big guy. Other than that, everything else on a Pasnakini, ugly, a cool lay, Manote, Ugly Mogol, Quigly, Lompo, Mayumi, Snakily mature.
Okay, kamayo, kana
It's just graveyard. You know, Cameron Wesley, when he first signed that treaty, machine at Chokwegi, I don't know how true it is. Machine will have a quick mark. He low up a matching and which it did happen. Erskine la kulli talented machine la fukiranga. That weekend, man, we had a bad storm. But not it. Yeah, Cameron Wesley, chief Matatuna. Right now. Tali Matagiova. You can read what's on there. My tree, but again, I'm on tree. That used to be a little tree right there by that stone.
Chimo. A quiso ko kan.
Pero siya mahasis tanong mo. Yung may kami mapagod at chibata. Mga caveman, mailman na.
Cave mà ai trong mấy cái trường học nó hết luôn mà đi ăn nên mấy mà bên cả mà ít xem mà nhưng lót gate đã có mấy taเลยrồi nó không có cho quay cái I don't know what they're gonna do about that.
Cái mà nó Canada naman nagsubli mi na siya man kaya rin
No, cave mà.
Canada island mo pi.
I don't know. I wouldn't stay there at night after you did. Nighttime when
Katina mo da.
you hear too many things, scary things. Yeah. You don't see nothing. You can hear, but you don't see anything.
I think lama baru kulapi in kalana cuma mau nana nakani metama back in '96. Jatta tu China ile chasma. Ima ko shukla. Ima kata mana kana ula anati gitu yo. Inta kaci memang magala juga. That's the serious ones more was. The other ones mana napi ulin kalana cuma tu yo. After that kani kada kula pak chasma bridge again gitu yo. Swing bridge. Yeah, ima kani kada kula pinsa me ana ada mermaid. Pas nada ada coma. Ibrahim to go no de kula kana pinsa kosoni chane ma yo ma kono kapitalo pe.
I've seen that. Me and my sister, we was walking, going towards the cave. It was hot. It's a great big old stump in the middle of the water. And my mermaid, my Benito, she had blonde hair, orange tail. And my Benito, she was combing her hair with, by the look of that comb was fishbone what she was using to comb her hair. And we stopped and we looked at each other and I see you on Elijah. We just stood there and looked and she just sitting there combing her hair. And we thought it was just our imagination of a mountain. We thought, hey, there was Ilya woman blinking on her. She looked up, seeing this. She just flipped in the water. All you could hear, tail slapping that water. And from that day to this day, I don't know if I always say, was that my imagination or was that for real? And Sam Lou told me that she seen one over there too. So I don't know. But I know I wasn't drunk.
Oh man.